When Austin was in first grade, I substituted at his school, and his teacher paraded all the little students into my classroom and hi, Miss Miller, and all this. And about an hour later, I get a note that my son is in the principal's office. So that was a very nice experience. My first and only day substituting at his school. When Austin was in 5th or 6th grade, we were sitting around the dining room table and I was going over his cousin's homework. And he's like, Mom, why don't you ever check my homework? So I said, okay, give me your homework. And it was math. And I get this paper and it's just numbers on it. He hadn't worked the problems out or anything, so I'm like, Austin, you haven't worked your problems out. What's going on? And he just said, just check it, Mom. Here's my book. So I get out the scratch paper and the calculator and I start working through the problems and I'm like, Austin, number 4 is wrong. And he goes, what? No, it's not. This is how you do it. You do this, 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 and that's the correct answer. Okay, I'm not checking your homework anymore.
I first met Jackie, I guess coming from photojournalism. She said she wanted to come and take pictures for our newspaper and yearbook. And of course I was excited. She had her own camera and I checked her out some equipment and it seemed like immediately she came back with just stellar pictures. And I thought, hey, this kid's good. So I was excited to have her, and then we started our broadcast classes and she said, yeah, I really have some interest in that. And she's taken on software and camera issues and things that I know nothing about, and she figures it out. So I just think with Jackie, I have 2 younger girls, and Jackie's the kid in class I want my girls to grow up to be like, just because she's dependable and she's good, and I'm pretty sure everyone in my class likes her. So
I remember when I first met Natalie, she was a very quiet, shy, and timid student. I have had the privilege to watch Natalie over the last 2 years grow and blossom into a beautiful young woman. She is beautiful inside and out. She has one of the most vibrant spirits I've ever seen, especially in a person so young. And when I met Natalie last year and had her as a student, by the end of the year I knew that she was different. Having her as a student this year, I've seen just how much that is so. She has a desire for learning like no other student I've ever seen, and it is quite admirable as a teacher to have a student like Natalie. I am honored that you have chosen me to share this with you. Congratulations, Natalie, and good luck.
Even during 3rd grade, when I had Anish Patel, he was a star. I think it was his can-do attitude, love of learning, and dedication to always put his best foot forward. I remember that one time when I was coming back with the class, and we were in portables, because MISD is a growing district, and all of a sudden a whole bunch of students are screaming, and Mrs. Gerlach, there's a spider. Well, who do you think was right beside me but Anish Patel? That's right. Because he wanted to investigate, he was also curious to see what was going on. And as we creeped closer, all of a sudden, there was hundreds of baby spiders that went all over the place. And it was because they were jumping off that mama. And who do you think was the very first to volunteer to find out more about wolf spiders? Anish. It does not surprise me at all, and I am so proud of him today that he is receiving this honor of being the top 60 of the district. He'll always have a place in my heart.
I have had the privilege of knowing Thomas Wang for 3 years as we worked together as part of the Mansfield High School band program. In those 3 years, it has become very obvious why he is so beloved by all his students. He is an innately musical, talented young man who achieves in everything he does. He's successful academically and musically, but more importantly, he's a great student leader. He leads with pride and passion and is always very positive with everyone he comes in contact with. When working with him individually, he listens and challenges himself for greatness. And he is why I enjoy every day as a teacher at Mansfield High School.
The first time I met Becca, really had a lot of connection with her. She came up to me freshman year. She said, Miss Fagan, I'm going to be gone for a few days for a club volleyball tournament out of town, and I need my makeup work. And I thought, oh, this is not going to be a good thing. pre-AP class, freshman level, and you're going to be gone for a few days. But, you know, it turned out just fine. She stepped up and ended up doing really well. I've just been real impressed with Becca and students in general who are athletes or members of the band that choose to continue their extracurricular interests even though they're not getting 10 GPA points for taking band or staying in athletics. It takes a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work, commitment, and effort to be able to do that and stay in the top 60, in the top of the class. And to choose to do that instead of just taking AP classes really shows to me a well-rounded student. And Beck is definitely that. To do that with class and style, carry that off, she's done just a really, really great job. And I know that whether she decides to become a volleyball coach or whether she decides to become a surgeon, the people that are going to be around her are going to be blessed to have her in their life.
Little did we know we would have students like the two of you.
In academic decathlon, this would not have been the same this year without you two.
Little things, just, you know, there are days when you want to cry, but you two would come in and instead we wanted to laugh. There are also days we still wanted to cry when we saw you, but nonetheless, you guys are awesome. We would not know poetry. What else would we not know if we did not have Justin and Nusrat?
If we didn't have Justin and Nusrat, we wouldn't know anything about chemistry. Actually, I still don't know anything about chemistry, but they were there to help us out. Economics, math, music.
You guys are just awesome, and we're really grateful to be here. We're honored, and we think that you're just the best.
And we're glad to have you all in class.
I like teaching because you get to meet unique people and people like Brian Zahner who make teaching fun. We have a unique relationship. We like to give each other a hard time. He likes to tell people that I gave him his lowest grade ever on an essay. And in fact, he's probably going to be at the banquet saying, she gave me my lowest grade. And I like to give him a hard time because he decided not to take my class as a senior. He was a chicken. But honestly, I hope he knows that I think he is a very smart, intelligent young man. He's got a good character about him. He's overall just one of those good kids. And I wish him all the best in college.
Brian Koo is a great student. He's the kind of kid that every teacher wants. He's always attentive. He's always respectful. He gets in there and he looks for things to do. And I have to tell a quick story about Brian. I had Brian at an internship. It was he and another student, and he was in the office of a neurosurgeon in Arlington. And apparently they have very small exam rooms in this physician's office. And the other student that was interning with Brian happened to be the president of our student organization. And she texted me one day that they were all packed into this exam room with the two students and a physician and a patient, and she was getting claustrophobic. And I texted her back, "You're the president of HOSA, you outrank Brian, kick him out." So she did. And Brian the next day at class came in and said, "Mr. Gashoop, how could you get me kicked out of that room?" And the way he handled it was very professional, as he usually is. And it was kind of a fun little moment for Brian and I. We have a great relationship, and I expect great things from him.
I've known Sarah Thornberry since she was a third grader, and I had her in fourth grade. My very first experience with her was when we were doing the GT play, and it was our first GT play that we'd ever done. And she came in and she tried out for Dorothy in Wizard of Oz, and we gave it to her. I knew then that she was going to be a winner. She was so cute. She was younger than most of the other kids. She came in, she knew every line. When we had costumes come in, she came in with her whole Dorothy outfits, red ruby slippers, and Toto in the basket. She's just always set a goal and made the goal and done wonderfully, and I'm so proud of her.
I came into teaching hoping that by doing this I could help promote students to want to do what I've found a passion for in nursing. One of those students was Ronnie Trung. He was one of those rare students that came into class every day enthusiastic, applied himself completely to everything we did. But the thing I think that made the biggest impression on me is that he always got the correlations. So what you taught this week, next week, he tied it in. And he had leadership qualities that I don't think he to this day knows he possesses. He's going to be a great nurse, and he's following in my footsteps at my alma mater, UT Arlington. Way to go, Ron, and good luck.
Working with adults, you have an expectation here, and they a lot of times go here. And working with students, they're about here, and then you have the opportunity to take them here. And Christy is a perfect example of that because she is so intelligent, but she is also, behind the intelligence, a good person and has a great personality. And it was my goal to help her succeed. She started out as a business student in the business program and quickly decided she wanted to go into medicine. And so my job as internship coordinator was to find Christy an internship in the medical field. And she currently is an intern at Harris Hospital downtown in the trauma center. Christy is not just smart. She has a great personality. She has a sense of humor, which is something I strongly believe in, and the position that I am in, I get to develop a relationship with my students. And getting to know her has been one of the biggest rewards, and is basically why I am a teacher, is that reward.
I first met Alex in her sophomore year. She was in my pre-AP chemistry class, and she was good people. She was a great student to have as a sophomore. Now she's in my AP chemistry class as a senior. She's going to be going to Baylor as a nursing student, and I think that the profession is going to be well served with Alex as one of their members.
Timberview High School has teamed up with Make-A-Wish for the past 4 years, and this year Caitlin Campbell came to me in the spring of '09 and wanted to reach out further than our Mansfield and Arlington community and to reach the world with Tom's Shoes. The concept behind Tom's Shoes is you buy a pair and they donate a pair. And this year we were able to raise $10,000 to donate to Tom's, and that was all due to Caitlin's hard work and our student council committee. So we're very proud of that and thankful for Caitlin and her idea and taking a risk and believing in Timberview and our Mansfield community the way she did. It's students like Caitlin at Timberview High School that make me want to be the teacher that I am and to continue to teach and reach lives, and for Caitlin I'm thankful.
As being chosen as an influential educator by William Brown, I was overwhelmed and excited to have this opportunity to speak to you guys, to share with you the true William Brown that I knew in 4th grade. Right here I've got this little book of all the students that I've ever taught, and I've got some very revealing information about William Brown, and I wanted to share it with you today. Let me look him up real quick. B's right here. This could be very shocking for his parents and the guests, but I think it's best that we come clean. He has a fresh start. Back on February 2nd, about 9 o'clock, it was math time. I remember it very distinctly. William Brown forgot to put his name on his math assignment. Yes, he forgot to put his name on his math assignment, and I think he had some points counted off on his math assignment. No, in all seriousness, I'm very excited for William. He's got great things in his future. I'm honored to be the teacher he has chosen as the most influential. William, best of luck and congratulations.